with this. Just for understanding this particular thing, what we try to do is, let me just take a simple table. I take a table with 2 rows and 1 single column, and I take some kind of label and a button also. I just place it. Okay, I just take some label and I just place a button control. Now what I try to do is, for this particular label, okay, for this label I would like to set some properties. For example, I remove the text. The ID I just make it as LBL. Okay, the ID I just make it as LBL header, and the font, what I try to do is, I just make it as somewhat larger. Okay, I just make it as larger so that it will be visible for us. Now for this particular button, what I try to do is, I would like to give a text for this button. Say for example, refresh. This is a simple form which I just designed now, and what I try to do is, for this particular thing, once again, let me just increase the font size. Okay, and here what I try to do is, I would like to write a simple statement like LBL header dot text equal to. Okay, I just give a message like LBL header dot text equal to page is loaded at, I say date time dot now dot toString. Okay, page is loaded at date time dot now dot toString. This is the definitions which I'm just trying to provide it. Now what I try to do here is, let me just try to execute. In the code, what I'm trying to do is just a simple message like page is loaded at date time dot now dot toString. And once I done this thing, let me just try to execute it. Okay, this is going to be processed for us, and what happens is, like I just click on the refresh. Now every time the page is getting refreshed, then what happens is, like it will try to process the instructions, and I just click on this thing. Every time you can just observe it, it will be processing and you get a new chime here. Okay, so it means that whenever a client is trying to send a request, then always it is going to be processing and we will be getting the responses. Okay, and my system timings will be somewhat different and all, and because I need to set a number of other applications here. Okay, so don't get confused with the timings over there. And now once you have done this thing, if you just wanted to use the output and all as a cache content, I just go to the source. So within the source, I just simply say output cache duration equal to, for example, 120 seconds. I just use some parameter called as vary by param, and I just say none, because vary by param is an attribute that is compulsory. Whether you wanted to use it or not, that we have to use it at that particular place. So what we try to do is we have something like an output cache, the duration I just mentioned, and whatever the vary by param is there, I maintain here. Okay. Now once I have written this particular statement, if I execute now, what happens is the page is going to get processed once again. Okay, the page is going to get processed once again. Once the page has been processed for me, first time what happens is it will get you the data from the cache contents. Okay, once it's been processed, it will just refresh it. So we got the page has been processed. Now this particular page has been set as cache. Now once again, if I try to send a request, you can just observe it, whatever the time that is available, something like October 29, 2008, and some kind of buttons that are available, you can just observe it. The value is not been changing. Not only for that particular user, if this page is requested by any person from any part of the world, the same thing will happen here. Okay, that's what it is going to do now. So the total output is maintained as a cache.